Hi, my name is Lyla Cansfield and I specialise in behaviour and problem solving with horses. I also run a program called Spooky Horses, which is really about taking your spooky, tense, distracted or even a young horse to confident and connected, learning strategies on the ground and ridden to be able to do that. So it's a complete program that deals with tension, distraction and spookiness. One of the things that comes up a lot when we start talking about horses that spook is actually not the spookiness. It's where horses do what we call in the UK napping. If you're not from the UK, what that means is your horse just won't go forward. They plant, they stop, they just will not move. And I find for riders this can be one of the most frustrating behaviours because often it comes across as stubborn to us. And often if our horse won't move from the leg, we're not really sure what else we can do to help them. So what can happen is that, and I've seen it many times, riders get frustrated, they start putting too much pressure on the horse and things go south in a hurry. One of the biggest problems that I see with horses that won't go forward is where they've been put under too much pressure and then the horse starts to escalate. And what happens is we go from a horse that just won't go forwards to now a horse that is rearing, spinning, running backwards, or something else that we really don't want to be dealing with. So my policy with everything I do is no dust. I want to deal with it at the lowest level. I do not want to get into the drama. I don't want to be riding a bucking, spinning, running backwards sort of horse. So I'm going to try and spot the first moment that something happens and deal with it quietly there, with a bit of psychology, thinking about how horses learn, and also with the assumption that my horse is not doing something on purpose to wind me up, but with the assumption that my horse is actually worried. In general, when horses stop and nap and won't go forwards, it is because of one of two reasons. Number one, there is something in front of them that they are worried about. They've spotted something and then don't want to walk past it. They want to see what it is. And they want to take a bit of time to see what it is. Or, second reason, that they don't want to go away from something. So this might be a horse that lacks a bit of confidence and is worried about going away from the barn, away from their friends, away from the yard, away from their field, whatever it is, but where they are, what they're going towards is an area where they don't necessarily feel safe and away from safety. So therefore they stop, I don't want to go forwards. Both of those are fear problems and need dealing with slowly and carefully. So let's have a look. This is a short video of one of my horses, and what's happened is I am based on a show jumping yard, and I think the previous day was probably quite windy because what happens occasionally is when the wind gets up, the jumps that are out in the arena, they blow over. So we'll see what happens. So here we go, we are walking into the arena. And she's walking along quite nicely, having a look around. Bit of a look and chew as she gets in there. Already start to see her just slightly slow down. And she spotted something. Her head's up, her ears are up. She's like, what's that over there? So what do? First thing I do is I stop with her and I rub her. That, I guarantee, is probably not the advice you've been given with a horse that plants and stops. Most people are like, get after them straight away. But if I assume that my horse is worried, if I stop and rub them and basically go, you know what, it's fine, let's just stand here for a minute, we can have a look, then I'm already putting them in a different mindset. I'm already, in a way, communicating to my horse, I'm not going to push you, let's just help you through this. I understand you're concerned about this. Let's help you through this. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be really quite systematic about how I use my legs, how I use my reins, and in this video I don't need a stick, but I will talk through if your horse is not responding to your legs, what you would do about that. So back to here, what have I done? I've rubbed her and I've stood and I've kind of gone, okay, what is it that she's bothered about, first thing, and let's not just push her straight away. The next thing I've done, little squeeze with my legs, I'm not kicking her, and then I open the rein. So I'm not walking her directly up to what she's worried about. I'm going to give her a chance to see it in both eyes. So we've walked off to the right at this time, or my right, and now I'm going to open the rein and go, right, let's go the other way. So you get a chance to see it from both eyes, and I'm not pushing you to get any closer than you already are. Slowly, we'll get closer to whatever it is, but we're going to do that progressively so that she gets a chance to see whatever she's bothered about from both sides. That's really important for horses, because horses, unlike us, have a blind spot right in the middle. And so they can't necessarily see, they don't necessarily process that something that they've seen in their left eye is the same as something they've seen in their right eye. For them, they need to see it from both eyes. If you imagine something, was scary in the field, what does your horse do? They stop, head up, just like she did. Then they go, right, I'm going to go around it, and they arc around it in one direction, then they stop and they face it, just like she's done. Head up, what is it? Then they'll arc around it in the other direction. Now they've checked it out from both sides, and slowly that will get closer to it. They do not walk directly up to something. So really important, what I'm trying to do here is replicate that. From there, what I do is I'm very, very systematic about how I use my legs. So my first indication to my horse that I want her to walk on will be a squeeze with my legs. I'm not kicking her. Next, in this scenario where I can see that she's bothered about something ahead of her, I'm opening a rein and saying, let's go this way. We don't have to go towards it. Let's go this way. If I needed to go towards that, let's say we're on the roads and we've got to get past something, I would then, first stage, squeeze with my legs. Next stage, if my horse isn't responding to that, you can do one of a couple of things. You can put a little bit of rhythm in your legs, yeah? Just a gentle, let's go forwards, okay? And you can then slowly get that a little bit bigger if you need to. But I would keep asking, and you keep asking, and the second your horse walks forwards, even one step, you relax your leg and you praise them. And then you start the process again. If you're using a stick, you could maintain the squeeze with your legs, and then you could use the stick again, like tapping your horse. Not big old whack that then your horse is like, oh my gosh, now I'm under pressure, and that's when you get the rear and the running backwards and all of that business. It's just gentle tapping. Imagine you were in a queue and there was somebody in front of you and they're wearing headphones, so you're not really struggling to get their attention. What would you do? You need them to move. What would you do? You'd probably try and get their attention somehow, okay? And then if you still can't quite get their eye or whatever, you might just start to tap them gently and just go, excuse me, and the minute they responded, you go, any chance I can get past you? See what I mean? And it's the same with our horses. It's like, what you want to do is start at the lowest level. It's like gentle squeeze with your legs. Then, any chance you could take a step forwards? Take a step forwards. Amazing. Well done. That's brilliant. Thank you for that. Right, let's try in the next step. What that does, for some horses, once you get them unlocked, they'll just go straight forwards. For others, you might need to do that a few times before you get them going forwards. But the point being, you're giving your horse time to think. You're also giving them time to assess whether it's even safe to go past that, because that's what they're worried about, or it's safe to go away from the herd. And you're stopping all of that drama, which is completely unnecessary. And where I see people getting in trouble with napping is where the horse is just under too much pressure. So I hope you found that helpful. If you give it a go, let me know. I would love to hear how you get on. And if you need a bit of help, if you're not sure how to apply this with your horse, or you've got a slightly different situation, feel free to get in touch. All the details are below, and I'd love to chat to you about your horse.